Well, thanks for watching Market Day Report, brought to you by Ariat. I'm Suzanne Alexander. Well, Brazil has temporarily lifted its 18% tariff on all U.S. ethanol until the end of 2022. Now, it comes as a means of decreasing pressures from inflation and is a welcome move for U.S. biofuel producers. Ed Hubbard with the Renewable Fuels Association joins us now with the latest. Ed, thank you so much for being here. So I can't imagine. How happy are you guys to see this ban lifted?
Having been at the, and before I start, I'm so glad to be with you. Thoroughly enjoy the opportunity.
You bet.
But we are so happy right now. I'm probably beside myself a little bit. And the reason being is that having been at the negotiating table really for the last 4 or 5 years on this issue, it represents something larger, I think. A shift in philosophy that we've been trying to get them to take for a number of years. The issue, as you mentioned, is about access, and over the last 4 or 5 years, Brazil had kind of taken a 180-degree turn and turned back to a period of time where they were looking to protect their market. And I think this is finally an acknowledgement that tariffs have an impact on consumer prices, and that's something we've been trying to talk to them about for years.
So, of course, this is just so impactful for the biofuels industry overall over this coming year. And I know that this is a step in the right direction. And so the hope is opening up the market for U.S. producers.
Look, I'm not so naive to think that this is the end-all, be-all, and it's going to turn things around significantly. Some have said that this is a politically expedient move by, President Bolsonaro, just to show that he's had some, he's focusing on lowering prices for consumers. Some have looked at the fact that it's just until 2022. I mean, they initiated it right at the end of the inter-harvest period, which is really the important period for exports. And then it essentially times out at the end of the year, just before the next inter-harvest period. So when you look at it, it does have some limitations. It's not going to be, like I said, the silver bullet, but
it's hopeful.
It does show a thawing of the stalemate, I think, on these issues. It's just unfortunate that it took this Russia-Ukraine conflict to cause oil prices to spike so high just to get them to the table. But now they're back at the table. We're looking forward to working with them.
Absolutely. It's so glad to hear how happy you are, by the way. Just some good news, much needed for sure. Renewable Fuels Association General Counsel and VP for Government Affairs, Ed Hubbard, a pleasure.